Ever thought about how fire isn't on things, but things are on fire? Welcome to the intriguing world of shower thoughts, where the mundane becomes fascinating and the obvious questionable. These are the thoughts that make us pause, ponder, and sometimes chuckle, like the strange realization that nothing is actually on fire. Instead, it's we who place things on fire. A subtle shift in perspective, isn't it? Next time you see a fire, remember, it's not the fire that's on something, it's something that's on fire. Did you know at one point in your life you were exactly pi years old? That's right. It's a fascinating concept when you take a moment to think about it. We measure time in years, months, days, hours, minutes, and seconds. But what if we told you that at some point you were exactly pi, 3.14159 years old? It's a strange thought, isn't it? This mind-boggling concept emerges from the intersection of mathematics and the ticking clock of our lives. It's the universal constant of pi, a number that never ends, intersecting with the finite timeline of human existence. A fleeting moment, a transient experience, a slice of life that we all share, yet never consciously acknowledge. It's a thought that adds a touch of mathematical intrigue to our everyday existence, reminding us of the endless possibilities that life holds. That's an interesting slice of life, isn't it? Opening. How does our brain remember that we forgot something but can't remember what that thing was? Today, we're diving deep into the labyrinth of the human brain, specifically focusing on the perplexing realm of memory. It's a place where sometimes things get a little paradoxical. Here's a scenario you might find familiar. You walk into a room with a purpose, but once you're there, you can't recall why. You know you forgot something, but what? And how can you recall forgetting but not the thing you've forgotten? This is where the paradox lies. Our brain, it seems, is quite the prankster. Memory isn't a single unit, but a complex system of networks spread across our brains. We have separate systems for different types of memories. For example, there's declarative memory, which deals with facts and events, and procedural memory, which manages how we do things. When we remember forgetting, we're dealing with a type of declarative memory called meta-memory. It's a higher-level cognitive process that monitors the state of our memory. It's like a librarian who can't find a book but knows it's missing from the shelf. But why can't we recall the forgotten item itself? Well, that piece might have been stored in a different memory system, or maybe it didn't get stored properly in the first place. The pathways to that memory might be blocked or simply not strong enough to retrieve the information. In essence, remembering that we forgot something is our brain's way of telling us there's a gap in our memory, a missing link. It's a signal that somewhere in the vast library of our minds, a book is out of place. And while it may be frustrating, it's also a testament to the intricacy of our brains. It's a reminder of our brain's fascinating ability to monitor itself, to keep track of what it knows and what it doesn't. So next time you forget something, don't beat yourself up. It's not about your intelligence or age. It's just your brain, being a brain. Closing. Next time you forget something, remember it's not you, it's your brain playing tricks on you. If James Bond is the most famous spy, wouldn't that also make him the worst spy? Now there's a thought to ponder, let's dive in. Spies are the masterminds of the shadows. They thrive on secrecy, anonymity, and the element of surprise. The very essence of a spy's role is to go unnoticed, to blend in, to become an invisible thread in the tapestry of the crowd. A spy's success is measured by their ability to accomplish their mission without leaving a trace, without their cover being blown. In the world of espionage, fame is the enemy. Notoriety is a liability, not a luxury. James Bond, on the other hand, is a household name. He's known far and wide, not just for his martini preferences, but for his daring exploits, his thrilling car chases, his high-stakes poker games, and his uncanny ability to always escape the most perilous situations. His face is recognized by millions. His name is whispered in awe. He is the epitome of a famous spy. But doesn't that fame contradict the very principles of being a spy? How can a spy maintain their cover when they're as famous as a movie star? How can they disappear into a crowd when their face is known around the globe? So is James Bond really the best spy or the worst? Someone dreamt about you last night and you have no idea. Dreams, those mysterious journeys we embark upon each night, often feature a cast of familiar faces. Your coworker, your childhood friend, perhaps even a stranger you passed on the street. Our minds weave intricate narratives, pulling in the people we've interacted with or merely observed. Now consider this, just as you dream of others, others dream of you. Imagine the countless dreams you've unknowingly starred in. Perhaps you've been a hero, a villain, or just a passerby in someone else's subconscious tale. It's a thought that's simultaneously humbling and unsettling, isn't it? There's a whole dream world stage where we play roles we're oblivious to. Dreams are a fascinating testament to our interconnectedness, even in the most private of spaces, our minds. So, as you drift into sleep tonight, remember this. Next time you dream, wonder who might be dreaming about you. Peer pressure as an adult is seeing your neighbor mow their lawn. Now, this statement may bring a chuckle or two, but it's not a joke. It's a reflection of the subtle pressures we face in our adult lives. You see, as adults, we're constantly faced with societal expectations and responsibilities. They influence our decisions, even when we're unaware of it. Take the example of mowing the lawn. When you see your neighbor tending to their lawn, there's a slight nudge, a whisper in your ear saying, "Perhaps it's time to mow your lawn too." It's not a loud, glaring demand, but a subtle reminder of what is expected of us as responsible adults. This is the essence of subtle peer pressure. It's not about being coerced into doing something you don't want to do. It's about the quiet, unspoken standards that society sets for us, the silent benchmarks that we often measure ourselves against. And it's not always negative. Sometimes it's these subtle nudges that motivate us to be better, to do better. However, it's crucial to remember that you have a choice. You decide when and if you want to mow your lawn. It's not an obligation, it's a decision. So the next time you see your neighbor mowing their lawn, remember, it's not a call to action, but a reminder of the choices you have. Remember, mowing your lawn is a choice, not an obligation. Crabs probably think that fish can fly. Let's dive into this thought, shall we? We humans have a unique perspective on the world, but it's just one of countless viewpoints in this vast universe. When a bird soars through the air, we see flying. But what if you were a crab, scuttling along the ocean floor, looking up at the fish gliding above? You might think they're flying, right? This thought illustrates the power of perspective. It's about how our experiences and our place in the world shape how we see things. For us, swimming and flying are distinct, because we exist in a world where we can differentiate between the two. But for a creature like a crab, whose whole life is submerged underwater, the distinction might not be so clear. The concept of flying fish might seem amusing to us, but it's a reminder of how different our understanding of the world can be from another creature's. It's a testament to the richness and diversity of life on Earth. It's about realizing that our way of seeing things isn't the only way, and that there's a whole universe of perspectives out there waiting to be explored. It's fascinating, isn't it? How a simple shower thought can lead us to such profound reflections. So, next time you see a fish, try to see it from a crab's perspective. You might be surprised at what you discover. Your first birthday is technically your second birthday. Let's delve into this mind-bending proposition. Think about it, the day you were born. That's a birthday, right? So when you celebrated your first birthday, you were actually marking the second anniversary of your arrival into the world. This may seem like a mere play on words, but it's a perspective shift that can make us reevaluate how we perceive age and milestones. It's a reminder of how we, as a society, have constructed and standardized time. When we say we're a year old, we're actually in our second year of life. Consider the implications. Are we unintentionally shortchanging ourselves of a year of life? Or are we just aligning with societal norms without questioning the logic behind them? It's a fascinating paradox that can make you rethink the way we measure and celebrate life. So, are we all a year older than we think we are?